Kanibake Ash.
Ash, okay. All right. So, and it's happening this Sunday. What time?
It's happening this Sunday.
Mr. Haglang.
It's happening this Sunday at Royal House Chapel. The time is 5 p.m.
5
Anybody
p.m.
who knows emoji music knows I'm a man who is always on time.
Of course, you are on time. You don't.
That's right.
Bridash, that one day I will talk. See, in London, I underestimated him and thought that the time. Bridash, when I got there, the man was on stage.
Out on stage. I'm always on time.
Don't be deceived.
No, I'm telling you
always
that
on time,
he's
bro.
always on time. That one I can assure you.
Ask Agla. Ask Agla.
Yesterday.
I'm always on time. I'm always on time. I'm always on time.
There may be something happen. Something happened.
Yeah.
Yes. There was traffic.
Thank you. I'm always on time.
Traffic.
Thank you. Thank you, baby.
Because the girls are here, they are beating me.
But well, he made it here today, and so and he's right on time.
I'm on time.
He's here. He's on time.
Right.
You continue.
I have to say traffic because my mother is listening. If I do anything to him, I'm dead at home.
So Sunday 5 p.m. Go get your ticket. Let's go out. Let's go support a brother, and most importantly, let's give thanks to God.
Yes.
January, February, March. You have made it to March. What are you waiting? Go and thank God and let him continue for the rest of the year for you.
Right? Yeah.
Because that is all we got. And trust me, if you listen to Emoji singing, then which other artists are on board?
I'm on him. My message on the bill.
Oh yeah.
PSC, we'll be doing on Timimu.
My goodness, my song.
Yeah.
You know that's how I start my show every day.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It is.
PSC Esther's on the bill. Uncle Eto is on the bill.
Wow.
Kofi Pepper is on the bill. I like the ish. Kofi Pepper is on the bill. Ella Duncan Williams King is also on the bill.
Oh.
I mean, there's sometimes he's saying throughout all my interviews, this is an opportunity, or for lack of better word, an opportunity for Ghanaians to appreciate we the musicians. If our songs has been a blessing to you in any way, any shape or any form, this is the best time for you to support us. Come in your numbers, to the venue. Let's join hands, let's worship together, and it's going to be an awesome time.
Yeah. Let's go and give thanks to God. Thank you so much for joining us this one. On Sunday, we're definitely going to be there. Yes. And that day, don't be surprised because I have a voice. I can sing. I can sing. Thank you so much, Emoji. Yes. Thank you, Emoji. And it's time for M.
It's time for M.
It's time for Showbiz Review. Bridash, really sorry.
Listen. Okay.
For more of this, you definitely have to be there on Sunday. New Wine concert by MOG. Now it's time for Showbiz Review, and it's brought to you by Vodafone Ghana. Betway for the love of the game. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Fear and Lunch Avenue. And they are making it possible for us to bring you Showbiz Review this morning. And we have quite an interesting one this morning. And I was hoping to hear from you ladies. Now it says, don't call me to your show only when it's Poets or Women's Day, coming from Poetra Asantewa to the media. She says you should not call her when it's Poets or Women's Day only. Call her for other things. Now, Ghanaian poet and writer Poetra Asantewa is displeased with the media for usually booking her for their shows only on International Women's Day and International Poetry Day. Now, in Joy FM's entertainment discussion on Twitter Space hosted by Kwame Dati, Poetra said one of the ways of helping promote poetry is for the media to make it a priority but not consider it as ancillary. Now, in terms of commercial avenues, the media has a part to play. There are 2 times that I am called by media companies in this country, and that is International Poetry Day and Women's Day. It's like every other time I don't exist. Poets don't exist. women don't exist, she said. Poetra added that in the wake of this, she has decided not to attend any program by a media house during these two occasions. Now, let me just allow the audio to play and then we'll continue the conversation.
Like Chief mentioned, each and every one of us are outliers. We are anomalies. And the hope is to kind of, study our individual models and look at sustainability, not just of our individual crafts, but the platforms we are creating in such a way that when we are removed from it, or when we pass away or anything, there can be continuity instead of having to reinvent the wheel every time. So I think that's really something that we really need to work on in our industry. And I think in terms of commercial avenues, the media has a part to play. There are two sure times I am called by media companies in this country, and that's International Poetry Day and Women's Day. It's like every other time I don't exist. Poets don't exist, women don't exist, but International Poetry Day, Women's Day, yes. Then, we know Poetra. And I think the media has a part to play. Yes, we've all talked about how the individual has to do the work, write for the passion, put yourself out there, get critiqued, get platforms, etc., all that. But the media also has a part to play in how involved you are, the work that you put into showing up for music artists, for visual artists, for all of that. That also has to be extended to poetry. It just doesn't depend on only the poets. I think the media has a huge part to play, and year after year. So I've made it a commitment that whenever anybody calls me International Poetry, I decline, and I let them know why I'm declining, because I want you to remember that I exist after International Poetry Day and come to me. Same for Women's International Day. Same. And it happens year after year because you guys do not care. And so I think the media has a huge part to play, and I'm hoping that this conversation will be a way for you to challenge me. Yes, you let me be the bad person. Don't call Poetra, but call another poet another day.
Ooh, so that was the voice of Poetra Asantewa. She says that you don't call her. It's only International Women's Day or something about Poetry Day. That's when you call her. And ladies, I have Ria, I have Esinam, I have Na here. What are your takes? Who should I start with first? Esinam. Ooh, they're all pointing to middle.
Yes, because I'm the one defending what Poetra said. That's why they are all calling me.
You. Okay.
All right. So if you want my candid opinion, I believe that the problem is that there aren't enough events that call for poets in Ghana.
Yeah.
Most of the events that are done are music centered. Or now comedy is also creeping into the picture. So we have music, comedy, and dance dominating the entertainment industry. So very few people have events that are like open mic events or any sort of events that will require a poet coming to speak. That being said, I guess the import of her point is that do enough events that you can call poets, so that you can call other people like poets and enrich that industry. I think that's the point she's coming from. Let's engage poets more. Let's add poetry to our industry, because it's a good form of literary work. Chief Moment started with poetry. Rhyme Sonny started with poetry. Most of them started with poetry, and they've been doing well with it so far. People who are good at telling stories, people with great storytelling techniques who do that through poetry can also do that, and entertain an audience wherever you put them. If you try it and the patronage is not as good as you want it to be, then you can say that, okay, it didn't work for me. I guess that's where she's coming from. So I understand what she's saying.
I think I didn't get her, but with what we started talking about before we came back from the break, I get her. Poetry is an industry that we haven't put a lot of focus on. You understand? It takes a lot to write. It takes a lot to get into your imagination to put things together. I get her frustration because they are really good at what they do. If you're not that good in that particular industry, Charlie, you go backwards because it takes a lot. And I think, like the comedy, she was talking about comedy. Comedy had to come together and start pushing themselves. I think probably they would have to also come together as poets to start doing the same thing, because Nana Asase is doing his own thing, Rhymesonny is doing his own thing. All the other poets are doing their own
And
thing.
it's just a handful of them that we
Yes,
actually know.
We don't have poetry clubs in Ghana. Or if we do, please, ladies, correct me.
Yes, National Theatre does every first Thursday of every month. They do an open mic talk party, hosted by Halakasa, Fiber, Bernard, and Deji Dems. They do those events over there, and create conversations around topical issues and do it through poetry. It's very interesting. However, there aren't many of those around.
We don't have a lot
Even if you right now, if you do an event and you bill a poet on it, what's the guarantee that people will attend because there's a poet on it? Do you get it? So they need to also get up and shake up the industry, just as the comedy people have done. I agree with Noun that there needs to be more proactivity.
They need to, like I was saying, they need to come together, create a union, like the way the comedians are doing. Because Obi was working with what's his name? He'll kill me if I don't remember his name. Please help me. No, his other short friend. Oh my God, I'm Lexi. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Lexi. But they are collaborating. They are working together. They are supporting each other. I think the poets, please, let's come together. I'll say let's, because we have all parts of the industry. If you come together and then you come to us that this is what we're doing, there's no way Doreen will say, I won't do an interview for you. There's no way Ajile will say, oh, you come through. There's no way Mr. Hagla will not help. You understand me? So let's come together. Yes, you've spoken about the things, but our appeal to her, don't throw away these other opportunities, sweetheart. That is business for you. That is money coming into your pocket. I get the frustration. They only call you because it depends. And it also depends. If you want the people to like what you're doing, you have to create a following as well. Because for me like this, I need some music in there and some comedy to also get me to enjoy the poetry. I know. I'm human. Yeah. You understand me? So let's do some collaborations here and there to get you people on a platform. And if you come to the media, I don't think anybody will say no to you. Because we need you as well. Like the same way you need us, we need you. So we get her frustration, but they need to come together.
Okay.
Yeah. So my sisters here have said what need to be said. Okay. So just to add to it, I think way back in uni, I was just talking to her. Way back in uni, we used to have this was it a group, or it was called Moonlight Cafe. And the dominance, I hear the founder of Moonlight Cafe is okay. Well, I'm not supposed to say, but yes, he's no more churning out or these nice programs. But I remember it was a big thing way back in school. Yeah. Okay, and when you heard Moonlight Cafe was somewhere, we used to have it's either the Pent, the open space at Pent, and the business school conference room. If you hear students will scramble for money and go and pay because it was a beautiful
and we used to
thing.
do it in UCC, KNUST. We used to do it in
especially
events.
during hall weeks,
Yes.
isn't it?
And I myself have been on stage for Moonlight Cafe before.
Yeah, and it was. I think the time they called me, I had a production, so I couldn't do it. So it was just awesome. All right, but all of a sudden, due to one thing or another, it fizzled out. Yeah. So then, when it fizzled out, what were the poets doing? You see, I don't want to put all the blame on them, but sometimes too, you have a role to play. Okay, what were the poets doing? And I remember there was this Sabolai festival too. One Love the Kobolo and a few people used to have. Yes, and we used to go for these very nice open mics at Alliance Française and all that. Listen, it was a big thing and people gravitated towards it. That's when I got to find out about Poetra. That's why Helakasa, what these, like a lot of people.
Basically the alter university.
Yes. So I just hope that they are able to revive it. I understand Poetra's she's such a talented young woman. Yeah. And I understand her frustration because sometimes when you are only boxed into one so the whole year you are just like looking forward to two events.
nobody calls you for anything, just these
Apart
two.
from the
You
rest
know,
now.
it's sad, but sometimes too, I would like it if she kind of collaborates with musicians, you know, just to put herself out there. You get me? Sometimes it is not only about poets and going to have a recitation or something like that, you know. In search,
She has a couple of music projects. I think
I
she's
know
on-
she does. I know she does, but unfortunately, they are not so popular.
Of course.
You get, so like work with the mainstream artists. Just, you know, pitch your work to them. You will never know.
How about
You will
event
never know.
organizers? Just like Amina said, for instance, we have the, you know, now we're mixing a bit of music, comedy. So you go a bit of music performance, then there's comedy come in between. Or even, I think the upcoming Ghana 66 event in London. Aside the musicians, comedians, Obian Posa is going. And then there's a second, I think Jacinta.
Oh.
So these two
wow.
are going. So it's music and comedy. So now let's look at it this way. Now just focusing on that. How about you now go and pitch it to event organizers that instead of just doing music and comedy, why wouldn't you let's add
because even recently I saw that Global Media Alliance, I don't think it's very recent, but they did an event with comedy, music and magic. You know, and magic is the illusion industry is something that's also entertaining, but it has not been championed.
Kwabena had it at his
Ghana.
concert,
Yes.
and it was so it was so
I
exciting.
think that it's just about positioning.
Yeah.
The artists being able to position themselves right to be able to be called upon for such events.
So for me, as I said, they should also take themselves, carry yourself and go there and say that, listen, okay, you're going to do maybe a music awards this year. So how about you put in
A bit of
poetry in there? So now instead of starting the show with just maybe somebody coming to sing, we'll come and do some poetry in there, you know.
for you.
Coming back to positioning yourself, I think, was it 2018 or 2019? I don't know. The first edition of Afrochella. I was there, and from the very beginning of the program, there were spoken word artists. There was a spoken word artist that came to perform, and I was so sad that it wasn't a Ghanaian.
Wow.
Look at the plethora of spoken word, like even the people we've mentioned now, they are not cool like that too. They are very,
they're big,
deep thinkers.
Yeah.
Okay. But unfortunately, she was from another part of the world. I don't want to beat down her talent or anything. But what she did, I could name a lot of people in Ghana who could have done it.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they position themselves well, these gigs would be very, very, very easy for them to acquire. So shout out Poetra. We still love you though.
I think at this point she's only upset because it keeps coming. It's like if it doesn't have that's the only time. So I think she's upset, but I'm sure if we call her, for instance, to come for an interview, to come and see how best we can even, I'm sure, and I think that definitely now that is something that has come up. I know that our producers they are good at that. One day they'll definitely bring some of that. I know Nana Sass is something he does full time, and he's doing amazing. Like he's not doing it only here in Ghana. He travels around the world to do all these things, and I've personally met him where he said that, listen, if he should come back to the world, he will still do poetry. So it's like everybody and their own. So as I said, just like you two have said, like she needs to put herself out there. Maybe a lot of people don't know you, Poetra,
I don't know
but
if people know how multifaceted poetry is, because you can write music, you can write scripts. So you don't even need to box yourself in one. I mean, you do it for the passion, you do it for what you love. But then you could also venture into different parts to just in the name of making money. You could also venture into different parts of the arts, because trust me, there's so much they could do.
You know, one thing that I feel like a lot of people forget when it comes to entertainment is that there is the business of it. Entertainment. Entertainment is a business. It's an industry. Industry means that money is exchanging hands for value. So everybody is willing to give value for something in exchange. Okay, so you give value, you get money, whatever it is. Now, Poetra may have being a poetry performer and is known for being poetry. But what did she do even in school, and how does she contribute that to the music industry? We are looking for bankers in the music industry. We're looking for accountants. We're looking for economists. We're looking for lawyers. We're looking for people who are able to contribute their fundamental knowledge to bettering the industry. My knowledge in digital marketing is coming into the music industry. You know, somebody's knowledge in accounting, physics, whatever it is. Once you come into the industry, you find out how your knowledge can benefit the industry. So maybe she could partner with these event organizers and serve in a different capacity to them. Right? This is a strategy. Just go meet one of these organizers of Afrochella and whatever. Take to a global, whoever is organizing the event. Partner with them. Give your service to them in a different capacity.
Exactly.
If you are in their circles, there's no way they will say that, Poetra is here, won't use it.
Should never be
If
overlooked.
there's need for someone like an actor, you are an actor, but you also did marketing in school. How do you use your marketing knowledge to influence the people you want to work with so that you give them value beyond you being on screen? Do you get what I mean? We need to start thinking of the different ways by which you can give value to the industry, improve the industry every day, every minute. Now, Jile is a presenter, but imagine that she knows how to cook and she serves a record label with food every Saturday.
Of course.
Do you get what I mean? Or every week. During the weekdays, she serves them lunch in exchange for money. That is her business. Or she could even say that, maybe because she's a caterer, if there's a music video happening, I want to go there and I'm going to take care of welfare for all the artists over there. I'm going to make sure everybody's okay. That's your role. If the same media house wants to have an event and needs a presenter, you think they will look beyond Ajili?
They will use her.
So let's think of ways by which we can contribute to the industry, and not always ways by which we can get, and not ways we can give.
And not always wait to be called. I mean, you can also push not to be just to be called, because
it's about who is available. There are so many people available. Really, coming into the industry, you realize that there are so many people with hopes and dreams to make it.
Yeah.
You are not irreplaceable, I promise.
Yeah.
Till you make yourself and establish yourself as irreplaceable, you're not. It's about wanting to work hard, coming into the industry, devote your time and attention. It's not an easy road.
At all.
You should be willing to work hard.
At all. So unfortunately, I'm sure it's something that she has put out there. Now that we know, and I for me, it's something that I'm pleading with event organizers to also look on their side too. I know that if we should actually add this to a music award scheme, like where before the award ceremony starts, I mean, you have a poet who come and start it, maybe a few performances, comedy comes in, then it goes, then music, it adds something to it. So with time, but you need to push. You definitely need to push, because I'm a presenter here, but I still have to lobby for events. If I know there's an event coming and I know that I can MC, I have to lobby it. If you don't lobby,
you can't even lobby for yourself. Get somebody to lobby for you.
Master, I will go, because if you say somebody should go, maybe that person can go. But I will go. I will find a way to lobby for myself, even if maybe I receive, let's say, 10K, which by the way, like for that amount, and maybe because I come myself and you're like, oh, you pay me 8K or 7K, I'll take it because I brought myself. I want to do it. Maybe they might have somebody who the person is waiting for them to call that person, but now I am taking myself and I'm like, I can do it, I want to do it, and I'm sure I'll be paid for it. So let's also look at taking ourselves to those places and see how best we can help her. But for now, as I said, Petra is just a bit she's a bit upset, but I'm sure that if we call
event
on her,
organizers too should look that way. I mean, just try and look that way and see how you can. It's a performance. You need to think out of the box. Who knows, the poetry may be the star performance of the night.
Exactly.
You've been trying to do something different.
this is different. Yep. Well, you see, maybe Robert Clark can actually think of
I
doing
was
that.
just thinking about him.
Yeah, we'll suggest it and see how it goes. Of course, Showbiz Review is brought to you by Vodafone Ghana, Betway for the love of the game, Franco Trading Enterprise, Still Phone, Papa Fee, and Lunch Avenue. They have made it possible for us to bring you Showbiz Review. Obviously, with our time fast spent here, we're going to make way for Andy Dusty to bring you the library. And of course, let me say a very big thank you to everyone who has made it possible to actually bring you Daybreak Hits this morning. I'm sure this morning for you to actually, I mean, I don't know when you leave. I don't know where you are all going to, but I know that at the moment at the forecourt of the State House, there's a lot going on. Our own late Christian Achu. I've seen pictures online already, and I hear some of everything that is going is streaming on our social media handles. I'm sure. Were you any of you able to get close to him?
This morning, I was in the post-production area, and I saw the funeral. Adom TV is covering it
Live, yeah.
I saw a fire lady, there, and I saw some of the people. But it's a painful thing. I still can't get the image of him when he was recovered off my mind.
I have not bothered to look at it.
Unfortunately, I woke up that morning, I opened my phone, and that was the first thing I saw.
It's very heartbreaking.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's unfortunate, but for us to have experienced somebody like him, the kind of person he was, the people he reached out to, the people he was a blessing to, for me, it's a painful death, but we are privileged to have had him
Yeah.
and experience who he was. May he so rest in perfect peace.
It will rest in perfect peace. And Ria, you have anything to say about Achu, Christian Achu?
It's just a very sad situation, okay, because young, promising man, beautiful family, beautiful wife. I mean, you'd never think for once that something like this, such a tragedy might happen to the family. So all I have to say is my condolences to the family, to his wife, to his children, all the people around him. Even though we didn't get to know him personally, we knew him through all his good deeds and his skills on the pitch. Everybody he brought so much joy to people when the Black Stars when the Black Stars qualified, and even for us, even for one of our own to be playing on the international platforms, it was such a beautiful thing to behold. I mean, this just shows us that we should try to make our lives very eventful. We should make our lives very something that is worthy to emulate, so that when we are also gone, people would remember us just like the way they are remembering Achu and saying such a good man, such a good player, such a humanitarian and all that.
Esina, many things to say.
I just want to pray that he rests in peace. Maybe God has a bigger plan for us, and as to why he took him away and left us, heartbroken. But Mao always knows best, so
Well, of course, I'm sure if you go on our platforms, maybe Joy News, Adom TV, Joy Prime, I'm sure it will definitely be live on there. And our social media pages as well. You can go on there and get to see everything that is happening at the forecourt of the State House. Obviously, bringing us the end of Daybreak Hits this morning. A very big thank you to Betway for the love of the game, Top Herbal Clinic, EcoBank, MTN everywhere you go, Ghana AIDS Commission, condomless sex is risky sex. If it's not on, it's definitely not in. Awake Purified Drinking Water, Cowbell, Our Milk, Vodafone Ghana, Franco Trading Enterprise, Still Phone, Papa Fee, and Lunch Avenue. They made it possible. And well, Naja showed me a video of the kids.
His wife and
Yeah,
kids.
the wife and the kids, and it's quite a sad one. It looks like that was the only thing that took them to come to Ghana. It's quite sad. Of course, now we need to make way for the library this morning on Hits FM. Andy Dusty is up next with that. A very big thank you to the great team as always. Mr. Hagler, Fly Nima Boy, Arnold aka Nana Kwame, DJ Bredash, Griselda, to you, Ria, Esinam, and Najile. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr.
Please, Miss
Rajwa.
Batali,
Oh, Miss Batali.
Please, I want to do one
thank you.
birthday. It's a birthday, my friend's birthday. He's crazy.
Okay.
So I just wanted to wish Akwesi Gambra a happy birthday. Fine boy, enjoy your day. Like, I'm sure he's surprised. I'm sure he's sitting there shaking his head. Yeah, it's his birthday today.
Okay.
I'm not sure what he's going to do. But
Happy birthday to him.
Akwesi.
And
Yes.
good morning to Papa Sako Ibi, Ibrahim Benbako.
Oh, we
Good
love
morning to-
Papa Sako.
We love Papa
We
Sako
love
as
you.
well. And later in the afternoon, we'll bring you the news updates as well. Stay tuned right here on Hits 1039 FM. So right after Andy Dusty, Nana Kwame takes over. Then Mekwikwe, Dr. Pounce. You know how we do it here on Hits 1039 FM. Don't worry, you see your rapper very soon on stage doing her own thing. My name is... My name is Doreen. I have your hashtag Navrongo Chick. How can you owe me like that? Bedash. DJ Bedash. Yes, DJ Bedash will start for Brandy, right? As always. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.